what if I told you that $100 will go a long way in Lagos than a long way in Johannesburg? $100 is going to go a long way in Lagos. Like you can spend $100. The standard of living in Lagos, when you spend $100, you are going to enjoy. But in Johannesburg, $100 is, you cannot compare that to Nigeria. It's, you spend more. You are going to spend a lot of money. You can't compare $100 in Lagos with $100 in Johannesburg. Those are two different scenarios, and I'm going to give you reasons why I say so. You get. So this is a challenge. This is a challenge I've gone through. I'm telling you this. Now $100 in Lagos is more better than $100 in Johannesburg. Why? Because in Lagos, eh, overall cost of living in Lagos is more cheaper than that in Johannesburg. You get, excluding rent. If you exclude rent, it's more cheaper because Johannesburg is 34% higher than Lagos when it comes to living costs. Living costs. Johannesburg is more expensive. So that's why many South Africans leave South Africa to come and stay in Nigeria, because you know that cost of living in Johannesburg is very expensive than cost of living in Lagos, Nigeria. So you see, $100 in Lagos can take you a long way without rent. But now in Johannesburg, $100 will not take you a long way excluding rent or without rent. You get. So the high cost of living in Johannesburg is slightly higher than that of Lagos. And by so doing, $100 is going to take you, is going to stress you further. It's going to stretch you further than in Johannesburg on everyday cost. Everyday cost like food and groceries. You get, because what you get for $100 in a shop, in a market, in a supermarket in Lagos, you can fill a very big basket. That this thing basket, shopping basket. But in Johannesburg, you fill just half for $100, which means that food in Johannesburg, daily cost of living, like daily items, groceries, drinks, water, services, are more expensive in Johannesburg than Lagos. Why do I say so? Nigeria, you get, Nigeria as a whole have decided to stop importing what they used to to start. Nigeria has totally stopped importing from foreign world, from the foreign from foreign countries. So now they have started producing what they used to import. You get, they are now producing what they used to import, and by so doing, it makes things very cheap, because there are many companies, many industries in Nigeria that produces what they used to import. And as they have totally stopped importing those goods from foreign countries, the citizens have decided that they will start eating or using the services and goods that local companies produce in Nigeria. You get, so Nigerians now consume more of local products, and as they consume more of local products, those products become very cheap, and as they become cheap, it's affordable for everybody. You get, and as it is affordable for everybody, money circulates only in Nigeria. Foreign exchange, like you don't import. When you import, you spend more on foreign exchange. You don't spend more on foreign exchange, and the Nigerian economy is expanding every day. Whereas in South Africans, most of their goods, they import them. They import most of their goods. Why do I say they import most of their goods? They import most of their goods because most of their factories, their industries, their production have really declined. Factories are not moving well. You get, factories are not moving well in South Africa. Things are not moving well in South Africa. There's a lot of instability going on in South Africa as we speak. So things are not really moving well. So they import most of their products. Most of them. So as they import most of their products, they will need to add tariffs to these products. Both food, goods, services, and everything, they will need to add tariffs like charges or taxes. And by so doing, $100 in Lagos is going to take you a long way than $100 in Johannesburg. You get? Nigeria does no longer import. Now they produce what they used to import. South Africa, they import, they don't produce what they used to import. So those are two different things. And $100 is going to take you a long way in Lagos than in Johannesburg, because Johannesburg, they import more of their products. Lagos, Nigeria, they no longer import, they produce. So Nigerians, or Nigeria as a whole, are encouraging local production, encouraging local industries to produce, and they are buying. Just Nigeria's population, Nigeria has more than 220 million people. Just that population will normal that big population has a very high consumer demand, very high consumer demand, and those local industries are producing those products and serving them to their population. And their population are really, that population, that massive population, that consumer demand, they really love their product and they are consuming it. They are consuming it seriously, seriously. Why Johannesburg? I don't know what is going on with Johannesburg, South Africa. They are importing. The more you import, when you import, you spend more money. So when the goods come, you need to try as much as possible to get back or make profit. And by so doing, you add taxes, you add some kind of tariffs on the products you are using. So you understand what I'm trying to say? So $100 is going to take you a long way in Lagos than in Johannesburg. So I'll go me for Nigeria, in Lagos, to live in Lagos, a luxurious life in Lagos, rather than going to Johannesburg and living a luxurious life in Johannesburg, because I'm going to spend more in Johannesburg and spend less in Lagos, Nigeria. You get? So $100 is big money in Lagos, and it's going to take you a long way. Truth be told, it's really going to take you a long way. So when it comes to buying power, how much money, or what is $100 going to buy for you in Lagos, and what is $100 going to buy for you in Johannesburg? Okay, when it comes to eating food in Lagos, a basic meal in an expensive restaurant can cost you about $2 to $5, 2 3 4 $5. That's an estimated amount in an expensive restaurant. $100 is going to cost you, an expensive meal is going to cost you $2 to $5 in an expensive restaurant in Lagos. But while in Johannesburg, the same food or the same meal will cost you 8 to 10 11 12 dollars. Then which is expensive? Johannesburg is very expensive. Nigeria has the luxury and they are cheap. Johannesburg have the luxury, but they are very expensive. You get? And many foreigners have decided to choose Nigeria over South Africa. You get? Many have decided to choose Nigeria over South Africa because they enjoy life in Nigeria more than the way they enjoy life in South Africa. So Lagos is the way. Lagos is pulling in foreigners to come and enjoy in Africa. Why South Africa? I don't know if they are pulling or not. They are pulling, but now most of them are just from the expenses, the expensive lifestyle. Food is expensive, everything is expensive there. That's why they run now. They come to Lagos to come and enjoy. So you get, the only thing that is expensive in Nigeria is rent. When I mean rent, in the sense that not in every place or not in every area in Lagos is expensive. Rent prices in Lagos can be higher than Johannesburg for certain type of apartments, especially in prime areas. You get? If you want to go to an expensive area, normally you spend more, but now if you want to go to a moderate area, you're going to spend less. Rather than in Johannesburg, everything is expensive. Even their moderate apartments, houses for rent is very expensive, but Nigeria or Lagos is a different case. So you can't compare two. I will better go for Lagos. I'll better spend $100 in Lagos than to spend $100 in Johannesburg, because Johannesburg is more expensive than in Lagos. You get? So with $100 you can buy basic items like drinks, groceries, local produce groceries that are very cheap in Lagos. But in Johannesburg, the prices are so high because they import more. Why in Nigeria, they don't import more, they produce what they used to import, and by so doing, the local population have a high demand and they are consuming it. That's why they keep pulling investors to come and invest in their country, because Nigeria has a very high market demand. They have the biggest market in Africa, and that's why they keep pulling investors. As they pull investors, investors are coming and investing in the country. Everything is made easy. Why in Johannesburg things are actually very difficult, because investors are leaving Johannesburg. Things are not moving on perfectly well in Johannesburg, South Africa. You get? So I personally, I will go for $100 in Lagos rather than going for $100 in Johannesburg.